Let's talk about SoFi, one of my largest positions right now, and I'm already up thousands of dollars on it. I'm up 20% on regular shares and 43% on my leveraged SoFi position, which I actually just exited because at this point I don't think it makes sense to buy more SoFi, but that's what we're gonna talk about in the video. So I want to go over when it makes sense to really heavily buy this stock over pretty much everything else, and when it makes sense to at least start the trimming process. It's been a much more volatile stock than it usually is recently. We've seen a huge move up, a huge move back down. So let's go over it, and I want to compare it to some previous positions. So one of my recent alerts, you guys remember, was Klarna. I just closed this for a 60% gain. I was buying this at $12 per share at the exact right times when we were seeing insiders buying. Specifically, the CEO made a massive move. Sorry, the chairman made a massive move on this stock, and we also saw a couple big deals go through that were massive for the stock. It had a huge move up right after that, and it kept going up for a couple months. This was literally just a $22 stock after I alerted it for $12. So huge gainer. American Airlines is a similar setup in that we're basically just buying the dip. We're buying into a reversal on a company that is growing extremely well. So this is one that I've closed out of 4 times in a row. I mean, you guys know the drill with American Airlines. We are typically buying in the $11 range when there's conflicts and trimming at specific levels. Hood, Robinhood stock, I also bought when insiders were going crazy with the buyback and when they were announcing amazing growth as well. Huge numbers year over year. Basically traded the news on this stock, really, and it paid off very well. So now that's kind of what I'm doing with SoFi. I bought heavily. I actually waited for a very long time to make a big move in on SoFi because I was buying lightly on the way down. But to make a very big purchase, I waited till about 1550 because that's where we saw the CEO not only buy $2 million worth of shares, which on his salary is absurd, but he also went and placed call options on this stock. We don't know exactly what options those were, if they were short term or long term, but the fact that he was loading up on his own stock and then buying call options, so leverage exposure to his own company, tells us all we need to know, right? He probably knows a little bit more about where the stock is headed than we do. And I added this line here specifically because that is where professional analysts are giving it its fair value. So, well, it's 1 year price target. So, the reason I'm bringing up SoFi today is because I don't think from this price it has a ton of upside, but if it can get back down to 1550, I'm going to buy this up like crazy because, which is very possible. It happens super quickly, the move up and down. Very possible that we see that. I'm going to buy this up, maybe even double down on my already huge position, and then heavily take profit at about 20.75 per share. That's where we've seen an absurd amount of trading of this stock. A massive move up recently, but also huge sell-offs, all from 2075. That's going to be a very, very psychological kind of factor of this trade, where once it hits there, it could reject hard, but if it breaks above, it can go up and maybe hit all-time highs again. So I don't want to get fully out, but I want to trim a significant amount of this stock. So 1550 would be a buy, pretty much where my average is already, but I would also look at leverage shares again. Maybe some call options. The thing about these options is that they're so cheap and they need such a big move to make you more money than you would make from the leverage shares. So I'm thinking of just sticking to leverage shares, 1550 as a buy, 2075 as a trim, and then I want to be, taking pretty heavy profits before we reach all-time highs because at any time this stock could reverse like it has been, and I want to go scoop up shares again. So if you have any questions about my positions, make sure to comment them down below. Join the Discord. I take trades live every single day in there, and subscribe. Have a great night, guys.